Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Playmakers. I've got some early morning breaking news for you guys. Leonard Fournette is going to be re-signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is off the market. I feel like in terms of fantasy football, this is probably one of the largest free agent signings because Leonard Fournette was fantastic last season, and I honestly wasn't sure that he was going to re-sign with the Bucs. I did feel like that was his best landing spot, but I didn't know if the Bucs were going to go out and pay that premium price for the running back position. I do think Fournette was the top running back out there, but we saw James Conner get $7 million a year. It looked like Fournette was like wanting close to that double-digit range. It does not appear like he got it, so he is going to sign a 3-year, $21 million contract with the Bucs. I think it's worth up to $24 million, but maybe he gave them a little bit of discount to return to the team that he knows is going to be a top contender in 2022. But just looking at the landing spot as a whole, I feel like there weren't a ton of teams out there looking for a running back that would let Fournette come in and just take over the workhorse role like he had in 2021. And people forget, Leonard Fournette was dominant as a fantasy asset. He was the RB4 in points per game for PPR scoring last year, rushed for 812 yards, 8 touchdowns. But what was kind of the key part of his game was that he caught 69 passes of his 84 targets in 14 games. Brady was peppering him with those checkdowns for 454 yards and 2 touchdowns. That made him very, very valuable in PPR, but he's still going to get it done on the ground and is really a top asset in every single scoring system. I feel like this locks him in as an RB1 heading into 2022. One thing I would keep an eye out for is I do think they're probably going to bring in a pass catching back or just go out and re-sign Giovanni Bernard, who was there last season. Gio didn't really get a ton of run last year. They didn't give him a ton of opportunities. Leonard Fournette was typically out there on third downs, unless it was like third and very long, because he was capable. But when we're looking at Leonard Fournette as a receiving back, he can get it done. He's solid at it, but he doesn't have a ton of, yak ability when he does make those catches. A lot of times he gets it, and then, maybe he can break one guy or kind of truck him, but he's not really breaking off these huge plays, kind of breaking tackles and all of that. So I do think some of that work could get shifted to a receiving back. But if they don't bring anyone in, they don't draft anyone, Leonard Fournette is going to be a top running back candidate with arguably like close to potential to being the RB1. If we see Christian McCaffrey go down, there's no reason why he wouldn't be able to finish in the top 3 running backs in points per game. And he's proven throughout his career that he can handle this massive workload. And even looking back to last season, Leonard Fournette was not like the clear-cut RB1 heading into week 1. It was actually Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette was number 2 on the depth chart. Rojo goes out there the first week. I think he fumbles in like the first quarter, and then he basically gets sat the entire game, and Leonard Fournette never looked back. For Tom Brady, I think this is fantastic. He brings someone back who is very reliable in the receiving game. He may not have, that crazy playmaking ability after the catch, but it was still someone he could rely upon to get those easy underneath yards. Brady's going to take what the defense gives him. So this is a fantastic, mutualistic relationship here between TB12 and Leonard Fournette. And for this Bucs offense as a whole and Tom Brady, really there's one more step left, and that is bringing back Rob Gronkowski. And then you're looking at Brady as a locked-in mid-tier QB1 who's just going to be a very consistent week-to-week option. Those are my initial thoughts on this signing. Let me know what you guys think down below. Probably one of the last really top tier free agents fantasy wise. So good to see him go off the board, going back to the Buccaneers. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.